Потік дезінформації від проросійських ЗМІ набирає обертів.
The flow of disinformation from the pro-Russian media is going rampant. The day before, the occupying authorities stated that the shelled kindergarten in Stanitsa, Luhansk is actually located in the uncontrolled territory. And this is Ukrainian military who's responsible for shelling. To find out what was really going on, our group went to Donetsk. And here's what we were told in the military-civil administration. The information infused by illegal armed groups is all aimed at destabilizing and shaking the situation in the city, in the country as a whole. I assure you that the situation is under control. There are no serious relocation. The situations related to mass leaving the city or evacuation. The community lives in a normal mode. Everyone works performing their professional duties and tasks. It turned out that there was no evacuation in Avdiivka, in a kilometer from the contact line. There is nothing. The city works quietly. Children go to school, kindergartens. Everyone is in the workplace. If we talk about the general situation in the city, in the morning we heard several flights to the village of Opitna, which is also our community, but according to my information, neither civilians nor the military were injured, as everything is well. It is clear that if we talk about evacuation, we have an evacuation plan. We have it working out. As for the local population, people haven't heard at all about the announced or at least planned evacuation. No, we hear this for the first time. While Donetsk is being evacuated, everyone are prepared there. Well, I don't know, at least I hear this for the first time and I work in the sun. People come, no one cares, everything is fine, calm. Nothing at all, I don't know what the Russian media is saying there, I don't know. There was nothing like that. Everything is okay, we're working, I'm working at school, the kids are studying. The outskirts of Avdiivka came under fire yesterday. There were shootings from temporarily uncontrolled territory, but there was no destruction of housing and infrastructure. We also spoke to the press office of the Joint Forces operation about the evacuation of civilians. The military also denied that lie, but adding yesterday all residents were offered to evacuate Stanitsa Luhanska because the settlement has repeatedly been the target of illegal armed groups. Reported by Nick Starkov, Olena Gramova, Yevhen Karmazin, UATV News.
Ukraine is not planning any offensive operations and shelling of civilians in the territories temporarily uncontrolled by Kyiv. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, Dmytro, Kuleba, refuted the message of the head of the occupation administration of certain districts of Donetsk region about the alleged preparation of the offensive of the Ukrainian armed forces. That is why the occupation authorities announced the mass evacuation of local residents to the Rostov region. The Minister of Defense, Oleksiy Reznikov, also assured that the Ukrainian authorities do not intend to attack.
I appeal to the residents of Luhansk, Donetsk, Alchevsk, Horlivka, Yasenovata and other cities. People, do not be afraid. Ukraine is not your enemy. Do not believe the rumors of an offensive. We categorically refuse Russian disinformation reports on Ukraine's alleged offensive operations or acts of sabotage in chemical production facilities. Ukraine does not conduct or plan any such actions in the Donbas. We are fully committed to diplomatic conflict resolution only. Dmytro Kuleba, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, on Twitter.
Massive shelling in Donbas is another kind of provocation by illegal armed formations. Russian-backed forces violated the ceasefire 60 times over the past day, using weapons that are banned under the Minsk agreements. Civilians came under fire, according to Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov. This way, the Kremlin wanted to make Ukrainian servicemen violate the ceasefire.
We do not confirm the statements of the Russian side about the withdrawal of troops. This is not happening. There is a movement of military personnel and equipment. Secondly, we are currently watching the units of the Russian troops, which number is about 129,000 ground component, and together with the naval and aviation component is about 149,000.
However, Oleksiy Reznikov estimated the probability of a large-scale escalation in Donbas as low. In turn, the Prime Minister of Ukraine, Denis Shmyhal, stressed that today the funding of the army is unprecedentedly high.
Financing of the army, funds for the modernization of the army and funds for weapons in 2022 at an unprecedented level. Expenditures of the Ministry of Defense are more than 16 billion hryvnias compared to last year. 25% more was allocated for the development and modernization of equipment than last year.
The Prime Minister added that the number of cyber attacks has increased. Therefore, Ukraine is actively cooperating with international partners in order to repel it as effectively as possible. Reported by Yulia Granovska, Yevhen Savitsky, UATV News.
The Russian state news agency reported that combat groups of radicals trained by Western instructors arrived in Stanitsa, Luhansk. According to media reports, these units move into the homes of local residents who are expelled under threat of violence. We work along the streets of Stanitsa, Luhansk to check this information.
I live at home. No one made any claims to me about housing. Have you seen the right sector here? I haven't seen. And what is the situation in Stanitsa, Luhansk? Peacefully, quietly? Well, you can see yourself. We live in peace.
The Stanitsa Luhansk community actually lives a normal life. You see shops, other trade units are operating normally. No one runs for buckwheat or lard, does not buy. There is no excitement. People live a normal life. I haven't seen or heard of any volunteer units in communication with the locals. And now the rumors spread by the occupants are one of the examples of the information war that the occupants are waging for their viewers. Unfortunately, during all the years of the war, the right sector didn't get to Stanitsa Luhansk to show that they are ordinary citizens, patriotic.
We decided to check the information with the current head of the Stanitsa Luhansk military and civil administration.
No one here in Stanitsa Luhansk kills anyone. Well, there is no changes or nothing more. I just don't know what to comment on here.
Even those who come here from the temporarily uncontrolled territories to receive pensions, buy medicines and go to shops do not see any reprisals against local residents.
Excuse me, I'm on the other side. I can't tell you anything. I can only say that there is peace and tranquility here, nothing more. We walked around Stanitsa Luhansk but did not see any traces of representatives of the right sector. Reported by Anastasia Volkova, Andriy Mohamedov, UATV News.
A train of unity has arrived in Mariupol town. It's the longest passenger train route in Ukraine. It runs for over 1,800 kilometers. A flag of Ukraine has been transferred inside the train through 12 regions of Ukraine with 15 stops. At each station, local citizens of Ukraine were signing the blue and yellow national flag. The train has been running on its route for about 24 hours. The passengers were admiring the sunset in Ivano-Frankivsk and meeting dawn on their way to Dnipro city. Different people were writing messages with wishes for a better tomorrow.
We especially liked staying in Yaremcha. People were meeting us with trombitas. That was cool. It was cool in Lviv. We are being greeted all over our way. We feel ourselves very excited. In conditions of hybrid war, we demonstrate to the whole world that Ukraine is united as never before. It is united from Ivano-Frankivsk to the Donetsk region.
The final stop of the unity train is in the town of Mariupol, in the Donetsk region. The locals say it is important for them to feel support from the entire country, especially when the tensions are high and shelling is continuous along all the contact line.
Today was a restless day. When on February 16th we were preparing to face the Russian invasion, I had my telephone ringing all day long, and today our boys on the front line have their phones ringing. It's hot over there. It's really hot.
This flag from the west of Ukraine is a great bonus to Mariupol. The town has demonstrated that it's part of Ukraine yesterday. We are united with all of our country. The patriotic train has connected the entire Ukraine from Zakarpattia to Donetsk region. Citizens of Mariupol have signed the blue and yellow flag too.
Oh, Lviv.
Oh, here is Lviv, and this is from the US ambassador in Ukraine.
Further on, the flag will be transported to Navy servicemen. Then it will be shipped on a vessel to Odessa. It will be delivered to Boryspil by air soon after and finally passed to the president of Ukraine in Kyiv. Reported by Pavlo Shtelmach, Nadia Sukhova, Boris Yakovenko, UATV News.